I just don't understand. Why are people leaving me like that? Those people for whom I fought against the whole world. I never thought that those people would end up hurting me so bad and ultimately rejecting me. What bad have I done to be rejected by them? I think what people say is actually correct. It is only those soft hearted people who end up getting hurt and being rejected by the whole world. I'm sure that most of us, at one point or the other, must have felt these feelings. Today, let me tell you the reason behind this. Hare Krishna, I'm Kavya Budhiraja. Welcome back to Being Krishna Conscious. So, the question is, why do people keep leaving our life, especially when we start any spiritual endeavor? Well, let me answer this question through an analogy. Imagine there is a gardener who wants to grow a beautiful flower plant, and then he sows the seed and he endeavors to grow it further. Now, during that process, the gardener notices that there are certain unwanted plants which have grown around this flower plant, which are absorbing all the nutrients which were supposed to be absorbed by this flower plant, which the gardener originally wanted to grow. So, seeing this, the gardener decides to chop off those unwanted plants. We all know that those unwanted plants are known as weeds. They unnecessarily take up all the nutrients from the soil which are supposed to be absorbed by the original crop. So, why did I explain this analogy to you? Well, that gardener is none other than the Supreme Lord, Sri Krishna. And as the gardener, he chops off the unwanted weed like people from our life who are unnecessarily taking up space in our life and draining us of our spiritual energy. And let me tell you, Krishna is the most possessive gardener. He is the most possessive person. He will not enter into your life if you still have other people, which means that firstly, Krishna showers his mercy by taking away all the people that are there in your life. Because Krishna knows that even those people would do no good to you. Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita, Bhoktaram Yagya Tapasam Sarvaloka Maheshwaram Suhridam Sarvabhutanam Gyatva Mam Shantim Rachati. This word Suhridam means well wishing best friend. So Krishna says that only I am the well wisher of all the living entities. There is no better friend than me. So why not just hold on to the hand of that friend whom we know would never leave us, whom we know that would do no bad to us, who always wants the best for all of us. Why not hold the hand of that Supreme Lord Sri Krishna? So when people start leaving your life, whenever you start any new spiritual activity, do not be surprised. Krishna is removing all those weeds which are unnecessarily occupying space around the creeper of devotion, around that Bhakti Lata Bij. Because that creeper of devotion is extremely important for Krishna as well as for all the living entities. So take it as a validation that whatever step you have taken in your life, it is actually taking you closer to Sri Krishna. Provided if Guru, Sadhu, Shastra, if all of these say so. Let's try to understand this with the help of two examples here. I will try to draw difference between the two of them. In example number 1, there is a person who has freshly started to chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra on beads. Now, the friend of this person keeps making fun of him that why are you chanting Hare Krishna? Are Baba, you haven't become a sannyasi yet. Do it when you grow old. So, this was example number 1. Now, example number 2. There is a person who regularly engages himself into corrupt practices. And one of his friends keeps pinpointing that, see, whatever you're doing is completely wrong. You must mend your ways. And then he leaves this person because he does not listen to him. So there is a clear cut difference between example number one and example number two. In the first example, because the child is trying to spiritually revive himself and his friend is making fun of him, in that particular situation, we can say that the friend was not actually a friend because he is stopping his friend from going into the correct path. Whereas, on the other hand, in example number two, the friend of that corrupt person was actually trying to save his life. So it completely depends upon the situation as to when and in what circumstance your relative is leaving you. And if they're leaving you for good reasons, please know that they were not really your friend. Because in the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna calls himself as Suhridam. And during our entire life, Krishna keeps throwing situations into our life which will actually bring us closer to him. And any intelligent person would actually take advantage of that situation by knowing that this pebble has been thrown by my master, my lord, who's actually calling me. And in that way, that person, by taking up that spiritual endeavor, would go to a new level in his bhakti. So do not worry if people are leaving your life when you're doing anything related to spirituality, related to bhakti. It is actually Krishna who's removing all those people who are nothing but an impediment into the way for you to reach Krishna in this lifetime. In fact, take it as a validation that the path you're treading on is correct. Now, let me ask you a question. Have you ever thought to yourself, why did Krishna appear only in the midnight? Why not in the day? Well, there are many Shubh Murats in the day as well. But why did Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, choose only midnight to appear? Well, this quality of the Supreme Lord indicates that Krishna puts his lotus feet only in that heart for whom all the other hopes of this material world have been removed. When Draupadi was being disrobed in front of everyone, she tried taking shelter of Dhritarashtra, Dronacharya, Bhishma Pitamaha, even her own husbands, the Pandavas, but none of them came to her rescue. Only when she realized that there is no other person who can save her, she raised both her arms and called out, "O Krishna, I surrender to you. I simply surrender to you because there is no other person, there is no other hope in my life. If you kindly desire, please come and save me. It's your sweet wish." And the moment Draupadi said this, the moment she thought and realized this, Krishna appeared. Why? Because Krishna was waiting for the right time when Draupadi would realize that there is no other hope for her in this entire material world, not even her own husbands. And when Draupadi realized that, Krishna appeared without wasting even a single moment and appeared in Vastra Avatar. He took the form of a long, endless sari for Draupadi. So, this is the mercy and love of Krishna. This is what Krishna wants from us. He wants complete surrender. And that is why Krishna keeps removing people, those unwanted people from our life, so that we may not be deviated from our actual destination, from our actual path that we are supposed to tread on. So instead of being sad and upset about all of this, we should actually be satisfied and happy. And we must thank Krishna for removing those unwanted weed like people which were grown around the delicate Bhakti Lata Beej, which is actually the real thing that we are supposed to do in this lifetime. So, yes, it is because of this reason that our supreme gardener keeps removing, keeps chopping off those weeds which have grown around the beautiful flower plant. So let's try to see positivity even into this. Let us not be distressed and instead engage ourselves in upgrading ourselves spiritually. Hare Krishna, Jai Shri Radhe Shyam, Jai Jai Srila Prabhupada. Also, if there is any other topic that you would like me to make a video on, please kindly let me know about that topic in the comment section below. I will definitely try to make a video on that. Hare Krishna.